ethically agree with her, but like $20 is $20, dog.
I'm glad that's the first thing that our chat here is. Um, Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I'm Obsidia, back from my hiatus. I had face surgery, so if I sound a little off at any time, it's because of my face recovery process. But I'm good enough to be able to wrangle these doofuses into an adventure, so here we are. So this is Nexus Forlorn Legacy, and I am the DM, and we're going to do around the table introductions before a brief session recap, and we hop right into it. So first up, B.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beatrix Bunny. I'm a taxidermy jackalope VTuber, and I sometimes moonlight as my VTuber drag persona of Auntie Griselda, the horny middle-aged goblin auntie from Fantasy Queens, New York. Either way, I do variety streams focused usually on roguelikes, digital artwork, and RPGs. I'm gonna be getting back to the campaign that Obsidia is a player in over on my channel, that being the Wild West horror campaign set in the Deadlands system called Wayward Guns. Don't have a specific date quite yet, but we're gonna have one soon enough. And well, hopefully someday my players will not have to be actively fleeing capitalism and fascism, and I'll be able to start the other campaign of the Changeling the Lost, be gay, do heists system. Well, not system, campaign, but that's all aside. That's not what I am doing tonight. Tonight I am playing Feng-chen. She is the Hobgoblin Artificer and the future benevolent overlord after we inevitably slay the dragon of capitalism. The pleasure is yours.
Thank you, B. Next up, we have Meris.
Hello, everybody. I'm Meris Aurum. I am a Celestial Dragon VTuber. I specialize in book reading streams where we talk about all things literature, novels, and media literacy. I also run my own D&D campaign called The Trial of Hearts, an ode to all things romantic fantasy. So if you like drama, messy romances, and a dash of mystery and political intrigue, definitely check that out on my channel. We play every other Wednesday. But while I am here, I play Soleil, the party's pink himbo fey tiefling werewolf blood hunter. And I'm so thrilled to be back and playing this idiot once again.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maris. Next up, we got Sif.
Hey, it's me, Sif_VTuber, real ass suit of armor, once again back playing a hot woman under Obsidia. I play games, I do art on my stream, and I'm back as Nafisa, cute little stone dragonborn girl with her little dog. And yeah, I'm here to have fun, and it's good to be back, and I loved you guys. I missed this so much. Big, sloppy, wet kiss on the forehead. You all have to live with it.
Oh man, that was a powerful smooch. And last but never least, we have Lily.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lily. I am an aspiring artist that draws a lot of D&D characters, as well as a dungeon master myself. The game that I run is Mistwalker's Spectrum of Eternity. There are now 9 episodes. How'd that happen? 9 episodes up on my YouTube channel. It's been kind of spicy, and I think we're gonna head into the 3rd straight episode of downtime, which, living the fucking dream right there. They just love talking and love being sad. Anyways, as for tonight, I am playing Aurora, who is the satyr wizard bimbo, which is always fun to say. She is going through it, having just been told that her best friend in life is a parasite on her well-being. And we're gonna do great. Great.
Aren't we gonna do great? That's a certified fact. All right, thank you everybody for your introductions. As a brief recap, it has been, I think, over a month at this point. Our heroes journeyed to the eastern continent, particularly the Empire of the Solar Phoenix, otherwise known as the Solari Empire for short. A very solar punk civilization of fire and earth elemental based people. And they arrived at the port city of Zhuhai, which is with its massive skyscrapers of like stained glass and symbols belonging to the various noble house slash mega corporations that run this country on a functional degree. And the city being known as the Scarlet City because at night it is entirely lit with red lights. And so everyone is basically constantly walking around in infrared. But it's got cultural and religious significance. And as our heroes went into the city, they ran into, nearly quite literally, a large being from Nafisa's past, her older sister Sharit, who is a fashion designer, who is currently studying in the Empire, practicing learning some new styles. They caught up, and everybody was very happy. She was very happy to see Nafisa again, and Nafisa was literally like attached at the hip to her. And she eventually took them to her little studio that she had, where all of her designs were. I think, just in case anybody forgot what she looked like, Sif drew this picture of her. That is our
my sister!
lovely half Minotaur, half Dragonborn.
I still feel so fucking called out in character for this one, so fuck you, man.
Then she took them to a tea house in the Penumbra, which is the non-incorporated parts of the city, as in they don't necessarily belong to one of the noble house megacorps. And in particular, it's where a lot of especially goblinoid communities reside in, including this one, which is Clan Wong-Zuhai, which is actually a sister clan to the clan that Feng-chen is from, in Avalon. And as they went there, they had tea, exchanged stories, caught up, and then eventually settled down for the night. Aurora showed her latest art piece to Omega, a picture of the Sapphire Sea, which is literally an extension of Omega in a way. And Omega gave some tactless input about the picture, which Omega meant entirely in a supportive way, but it did not come off that way. And then Omega did state as a fact that the Fey spirit Nethris, that is a guardian angel to Aurora, is a parasite feeding off of her in some way, to which Aurora did not take it well. So with that and a particular dark moment, Nethris and Aurora bonded and expressed the closest thing to affection that Nethris is capable of doing, before settling down for the night. The next morning, they were having breakfast and they saw in the newspapers on the street that there was an arson attack in the Penumbra, specifically at the tea house that they had attended the previous evening. And 10 goblinoids are currently claimed to have been killed in the blaze. And it's deemed to be a series of unfortunate arson attacks, and comments by some of the noble houses of the area lamented the tragedy and reiterated that they're seeking to rebuild these communities in a safer and better way, with greater success and prosperity for the city, and they'll do everything they can to rebuild the areas if these attacks continue. which elicited a degree of skepticism from the party. So with that, they determined the next course of action they wanted to do was to go find Sharit and see how she was doing and if she was aware of or affected by the blaze. And so that's where we'll jump in tonight. Alrighty, heroes, what do you do?
We would like to go to Sharit's apartment, if that is okay, unless you guys have something you want to do first. You know, like if there's something important you want to do or talk about, since it's been a while, but like, you know, my sister, it's her tea house that got burned down. I would like to see my sister.
What do you mean it has been a while? It's been this morning.
I miss my sister.
Yes, understandable.
Yeah, understandable.
I think I'm still in the disbelief phase of the extended familial clanship grief. So it should be a little while before I fully break down. I think I'm good to go.
That doesn't have much of a vote of confidence there.
Well, I would say that you could not understand, but I imagine perhaps more so than anyone else in this party, you might be able to understand the grief of loss of community.
Right.
I'm sorry, that was uncalled for.
No, it's okay. I think first things first. We need to make sure Sharit's okay.
Hold on, really quick. Nafisa's gonna walk up and just pick up Feng.
Okay.
It is okay. You can break down as much as you like. We can walk at the same time, okay?
Oh, all right. I was not expecting this, but all right.
It is
Aurora,
okay.
Aurora looks over at Soleil with like the uppies.
He picks you up, but not in the delicate way that you're expecting. You are like a sack of potatoes over his shoulder right now.
Okay, maybe not. That's
Wow,
alright.
What's wrong? You tired? I can carry you.
You tossed me up here like literally a sack of potatoes. It kind of got my gut.
Uh-huh.
Then it's okay. It's okay. She's just like gonna hop off and bear.
He puts her back down.
Okay, let's go see Sharit. If you're upset, Feng, I mean, Sharit's been here for a while too. She may be a little torn up as well.
Yes, I think inactivity is the downfall of stability here. If I keep moving towards an objective, I feel that will help.
Okay, then I will put you back down if you want.
I mean, you're welcome to keep carrying if you prefer. I am more than amenable either way.
No, I want to get parried by someone else, so don't worry about it. If you want to be let down, that's okay.
I'm fine.
Alright, so who's picking up who here?
I think
Can we do like a Scooby-Doo where one person picks up another person picks up?
After when you ask that, Nyx puts one of her talons on you.
You can hold Nyx, and then I can hold you, then Aurora can hold me, and then so
No,
you
I
can hold her.
I will do no such thing.
If we're doing the Scooby-Doo logic, I think it would have to be. I think it would have to be Aurora, because that would be the funniest to have on the bottom.
Not a bottom.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, let's go see my sister.
Regardless,
Off we go.
you depart for Sharit's apartment in the House Onyx Fair portion of the city. When you get to the second story where she resides, do you guys knock on the door? What do you do?
Is it unlocked?
Are you gonna try for it?
Yeah, Nafisa's gonna just try to open the door because it's her sister's place, so she just expected to open it for her.
It
To
is.
be open for
It
her.
is in fact unlocked.
Hello, sister.
I'm gonna make
Sister.
a quick perception check.
Oh.
All right, she did pretty okay, and you startle your sister as you just barge in before announcing yourself. But you see her like she's sitting at one of her like weaving stations, and she's drinking like this cup of like steaming spiced tea. You can smell like the cinnamon and cardamom and stuff as you enter. And you see the cup just like absolutely shakes in her hand as the door immediately opens. And she hears your voice, and she kind of sighs and puts it down and grabs a cloth and kind of dabs up some of the tea that's spilled. Nafisa, it's good to see you this morning.
Good morning, sister. We came because we saw something in the paper and were worried about you.
What happened in the paper? I've been working this morning. I was preparing something as a gift today. Did something happen?
Unfortunately, yes. Would it be better to take bad news sitting down? You know yourself better than I do.
She's currently sitting, so what happened, sister?
So you know that tea house you took us to last night?
She nods very slowly.
Okay, sister. She's gonna walk up and like she's still holding Feng in one arm, and then with the other arm puts her hand on her sister's hand. I have some really bad news, sister. The tea house is gone. It got fired, burnt up, and some people were also burnt up. We have the paper with us if you would like to see if their names are in it, or if you would like better details.
She very slowly takes the paper out of your hand without saying anything. And she looks at it, and you just see, she is a very large woman. She's 8 feet tall and just incredibly large. And you just see the tears begin to pour out of her eyes as she starts sobbing, seeing this, and she drops the paper and grips Nafisa's hand as she just can't hold it in.
Nafisa's gonna pull her in for a hug, this time like trying to carry her the same way she carried Nafisa. And Nafisa will just go to Feng, I am really sorry. I can put you down if you didn't want to be like squished like this.
That is all right. I can try to share in the grieving process, and I think with as much gravitas as she can have when she's kind of being just held in one arm by the party's big lady, and now there's another big lady who is also being held in this way. I think she's just gonna try to like do the like patting, rubbing on the shoulder kind of consoling, because I mean this is a loss that they both feel, even if she doesn't have much in the way of direct knowledge as to how deeply it's felt on her part.
And this goes for a few minutes before she begins to start comporting herself. And she just goes, I was finishing the sash for one of the women there. It was a thank you present. And you see this like beautiful, black silk sash that has this like gold designs on it that is a fusion of the kind of Dragonland markings that like Nafisa wears, as well as some goblinoid characters um, for serenity and peace and stuff on it. And she just clutches it tightly at her other hand. Do,
Do you want to go see? Sister, we'll go with you.
She looks up at you with those very big, her eyes having gone red from just, the act of crying, and they're still very wet, and she just slowly nods.
Okay. And like a little child with their like older with their parent, and if he's just gonna lead her by her hand, because it'd be a little awkward for her to try to carry both Sharit and Feng over.
If you would like, I can sit this one out. I think your sister may need it as much, and I can try to do what you do for her while riding, but I think you would probably have a better success doing it without also having to carry me.
Okay. And if you still put
Thank
Feng down, but I think she'll still lead Sharit by the hand. And
Hey, Sharit?
Uh, yes, Miss Aurora?
I'd be happy to give you some money for that work.
She kind of looks at you just like blankly for a second and goes, It's not about the money. It was a gift. It was a symbol of thanks. I didn't do it to get any kind of compensation. Their kindness has been all the payment I could want.
You can see she kind of just looks like to the side, just like that makes sense. I was just thinking about if there's any way for me to help, but I mean, never mind.
I know you're trying to be a little wispy, but could you speak a little louder?
Yeah, sorry. Just like, I get it. I just wanted to try and help since I know things are kind of tight here, and that's really all.
She just kind of looks. It's like, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm doing fine financially. I don't do this for money. I get what I need to support my stay here, and I learn what I need to learn and create what I need to create. I don't care about the money.
Forget I ever said anything.
No, I understand you are just trying to be helpful, Miss Aurora, but I know that there are many things in this life that are much more important than money, and if you're simply just doing your craft to get paid.
No, I'm not.
I didn't mean you personally. I and just in general.
there is a lot of feelings right now.
I'm sorry if I'm stumbling over my words, Miss Aurora, but
No, I brought this up at an inopportune time, and I'm sorry for that. And I just it's nothing.
And if nobody wants to do or say anything else, you can proceed over to the Wong-Zuhai enclave. As you get there, you definitely see the crowds of people kind of still looking at the burned wreckage, trying to, start sifting through it, looking for presumably belongings or anything else that might have been valued. You see that there are 10 bodies in the street with kind of like white cloths over each of them. You see that there's probably several dozen goblinoids like actively doing things. Doesn't seem to be anybody from the city here. You see that there is a somewhat elderly looking goblin with a long mustache and beard, has several streaks of silver in it. This goblin is probably in his goblin 60s, so he's probably like a 40 or something normally, but they just age faster because they're just little guys. And he is very well dressed, wearing a long, I can't say it's a black and gold robe. It is a gold robe with bits of black that you can see because there are so many stitched in like goblinoid characters and stuff on this cloak. I mean, on this robe. That it's actually so long. It's kind of like somewhat pinned at his sides, like extending from his sleeves. And he has a very ornate cane that he is kind of leaning on as he is looking at the wreckage and occasionally talking to a very kind of, oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? Very inconspicuously dressed bugbear woman with several scars going across her eyes and face, and a pair of chained together axes at her sides, and a male hobgoblin with a long drooping mustache who is wearing a suit of black with a golden tie on it. And they seem to be talking very much in their own authoritative way. Occasionally they'll say things to the other goblinoids going around. And then finally, you see a familiar face in the form of Giacomo, everybody's favorite Hawaiian shirt-clad mantis shrimp Triton, who is wearing his black open button shirt with the red spider lilies on it, and his like crow beak shaped kind of plague doctor mask kind of slung around his neck, as he is very usually used to like not giving a fuck with basically anything he does, but here you see him actually talking to some of the goblinoids, and you'll see him reach underneath the cloths as he very like carefully and gently removes. You see like several like small daggers. Occasionally you'll see like there'll be like they're all like these very like long curved daggers and like long like curved two of them have like long swords, and he's pulling them out. There's still like bits of burned flesh on them, and like ashes, and they've kind of dinged up, and he's very carefully removing them and handing them to a female goblin who is prestidigitating, just kind of trying to clean them, as another male goblin is there casting mending to try and start healing some of the burn damage on them. The goblinoid people in the party know this immediately. Aurora and Nafisa, make history checks.
Sorry, you were cutting out a little bit here and there.
Oh, I said you guys know this, but Aurora and Nafisa can make history checks.
History check. Got it.
Yeah!
as a 16.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Okay. You guys, Aurora, you know that this is definitely something of uh, some kind of significance, perhaps of religious significance. Nafisa, you know that this is Nafisa and the two goblinoid adjacent people in the party know that this is the Rodai, the soul-bound weapons that every goblin is given. That are being taken from the body because the bodies will get cremated, but the weapons are kept to form bonds for the departed and the clan itself. So he is participating in this process, which, as a Talon of the Raven Queen, is within his jurisdiction, even though it's kind of odd since he is a ferryman and he's in the middle of a city. But, you know, he seems that nobody else is here to do it, so he is stumbled along. All right. With all of that, what do you guys want to do?
Since it kind of feels like those are the people in charge, I think I'd want to go over to try and introduce myself as a member of the extended clan and to see if there's just anything I can do to assist in this.
If excuse me, if Feng is cool with the idea of Soleil accompanying her, then I think he would do so.
Sure, you're a goblinoid.
I think Nafisa would go wherever the Sharit feels like moving towards, and if that's nowhere at all, then they will just stay and watch the whole scene while Sharit takes everything in.
Okay. Yeah, she's very much like sheep being led by a dog. You know, she doesn't really have much. She just sees it and she starts crying again, holding the sash that she was working on. Aurora, what are you going to be doing?
I think she's gonna be like looking around, but probably less so than like really doing anything to help. She's probably going to just be like, I think in this moment, just seeing Giacomo doing what he's doing is probably just going to like talk to Nethris just briefly about just like, so these people are going to be like, move on, okay? And such.
Gotcha. Okay, so we'll do reverse order for this. So as you're kind of watching this, you hear the Nethris's voice, just like in your ear, as the shadow eyes kind of appear and extend up to you, and she goes, "It seems like there would be no reason for their souls not to be ferried accordingly."
No, I just kind of wanted to do a little. I don't know. I'm kind of a mess right now, but I just wanted to make sure that at least I can feel a little bit better about whatever happens after this.
Their spirits should get ferried to their clan. And she seems to like pause and she goes, "The peace that comes with that."
Well, I suppose that's all we can ask for in these moments. Peace. You can see she's just like trying to hold it together, but is really struggling. It's just going to kind of be quiet.
Okay. Nafisa, is there anything particular you want to do as Sharit's there?
As they're sitting down, does Sharit's eye like I know that they're taking the road die back and cleansing them, basically.
Yeah.
Are there any corpses? Like I'm assuming they're covered, but are there any
Yeah.
bodies?
Yeah, that's where they're getting the Rodai from, is
Okay.
the 10
Oh.
bodies in front.
Do Sharit's eyes linger towards, like... Does she keep trying to, like, look at them?
Also, yeah, she's definitely looking at them. She's definitely, the wheels are turning in her head for thoughts that you can presume, but she's not articulating.
And are there, like... Is there, like, a day manager for the tea house, or, like, or someone who was dressed similar to the uniform and is, like, here present on the scene right now, or...
Does not seem so. It seems like perhaps the staff it was their house as well as the tea house. So presumably this was a family who was living there.
Sharit, do you want me to go ask when the funeral service will be held? I don't know how goblinoids do such things too well, but if you would like to still give the scarf, we can still give it.
She keeps staring at the bodies for a bit before she like slowly looks up at you, and um, she hands you the sash, and she goes, "Tell them it was a gift. I just wanted to thank them."
Her name. What was her name?
It was Kuzen.
Okay. And she'll leave Sharit sitting at a nearby bench, and then she'll walk over to the goblinoids who are, like, more official looking and ask them about giving a gift or tribute for the memorial service.
Okay. You'll approach a little bit after Soleil and Feng start talking to them. As you two approach, the three people in charge basically stopped saying something. You know, you guys both speak Goblinoid, so you heard that they were talking about, not just the what to do with the ceremony to pass on the souls and everything, but also that the bugbear specifically is she is talking about how this is following the MO that's been happening in some of the other neighborhoods, and it will only escalate from here. And her forces have been really trying to stop as many of these forays as possible, but it's just there's too much ground to cover. And as you approach, the elderly goblin will hold up his hand. He's got long, like very well manicured fingernails in like a black and gold design, and he looks up at you and looks at Soleil with a longer kind of look as he looks him up and down, and then he sees Feng, and his eyes kind of soften a bit as he sees her, and in a somewhat quavering voice he goes, how can I help you? You do not appear to be from around here.
Hello, my name is Feng-chen. I am also of Clan Wong, though the branch in Avalon. I was here for business, and I had hoped to reunite with some of the history and the roots that my father was more familiar with, but I see that I unfortunately come at a very sad time. I wish to offer my assistance. This is my compatriot, Soleil. He is, although he may not look it, also of a goblinoid clan, and was hoping to extend a show of solidarity.
The goblin does a little slight little bow to that as he walks over with his cane leading him, and he takes out a pair of gold rimmed glasses that have kind of like Lily with the butterfly motif, but these ones are a pair of small stylized flame wings on them, with a long little chain connected to his robes. And as he gets in front of Feng, he puts them on and kind of looks her closer up and down, and he gives a bit of a smile as he says, "You're Shiwen's daughter, aren't you?"
Yes, I did not realize that my father had such a long-lived reputation here.
He was quite the well-known character here before we had to ensure that his safety was secured.
And you have my many thanks for that. I suppose that I owe a great deal to that decision.
He smiles and kind of pats you on the hand, and goes, "It seems that it is us who will be thankful for that decision, as it has brought one of our wayward scions home. I only wish it had been in brighter times." And he turns to look at Soleil and you hear some popping sounds at his back as he's trying to look up at Soleil. It's a little fucking 3.5 foot tall goblin.
he'll see that struggle and crouch down to get closer to eye level with him.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
And he kind of looks at some of your markings and goes, "Clan Zhao, I don't recognize that clan, but it is good to have a cousin here of sorts."
He beams at that, even though, of course, Clan Zhao isn't recognized, but being thought of as a distant cousin. He has a big toothy grin. Not that you can see it, but he does behind the mask. And
You can see it in the eye holes.
Yeah, the eyes look a little brighter from behind his mask. And he nods his head, just, "Thank you. It's good to, well, extenuating circumstances aside, it's good to reconnect with this part of my heritage. I'm sorry, we didn't catch your name, sir."
"I apologize. My manners seem to have slipped given everything. I am Diane Korlu, Wong-Zuhai."
"It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. If I'm not mistaken, I think you're a bit of a head honcho around here."
"That's what they keep telling me." As he kind of chuckles a bit. And he goes, "But please, let me introduce my associates." And he gestures over, and the bugbear and hobgoblin approach. And the bugbear, she's she's as tall as Soleil and got that very like wiry muscle that bugbears tend to have. Um, and she doesn't make eye contact with you though. She doesn't make eye contact with anyone. She kind of looks like adjacent to you guys as she says, "I'm the Xinyan Zoli Wang-Zuhai." And as they're doing the introductions, this could be when Nafisa approaches the circle. As the final hobgoblin says, and I am the. Oh, God. Sorry, I gotta put on my glasses to read what I wrote. I am the Shuyan, Risho Wang-Zuhai. And for the goblinoid people, it's gonna be a lot of translating through you guys. They switch to Wayfarer when they see Nafisa approaching, but you know that the Dayen is the clan chief, the warlord of the clan. The Xinyan is basically the head of the shadows, the more stealth portion of the clan leadership, and then the Shuyan is like the high arcanist of the clan, basically. And Nafisa, you hear a lot of talking in Goblinoid, and then you approach and you see that the elderly goblin switches to Wayfarer as he sees you and goes, apologies for communicating in what is likely a strange tongue to you.
All tongues are strange. But that is okay. Hi, I am Nafisa. You already met them, that you know Soleil and Feng, and I think I got your names. Diane Korlu Wong-Zuhai. Okay, thank you. I was just a lot of
I know.
Thank you, Obs.
Goblinoid names are long with a lot of titles involved.
Okay, then I'm not. I will just.
So yeah, it's Korlu, Jolie, and Risho. Those are the three.
Risho.
They're all Wong-Zuhai because that's just how Goblinoid clan names work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, title first.
Yes, the title.
Yes. So my sister over at the bench, her name is Sharit. She's been around for a little bit, and she took us to this tea house last night, the one that burnt down. And she cared a lot about the people inside. They helped her, and she was making them this little gift, this scarf from our culture. And I was wondering if it could be given as part of their memorial service. I'm not too familiar with what is done in goblinoid culture.
Yeah, with a somewhat shaky hand, he reaches out and will take the sash from you.
It is for it is for someone named Kujen.
And he looks at it and he gives it a very long look as he says, "This is beautiful craftsmanship. She would have loved it, and we will keep it with her Rodai."
Thank you. My sister would be very happy knowing it was someplace nice. Thank you. And Nafisa will leave the conversation to go back to comforting her sister.
He hands the cloth to a younger hobgoblin, more like a teenager, who is kind of standing a bit distant and professionally, and he hands it to that hobgoblin, who kind of takes it and nods and goes to put it with the various rodai after they're cleaned and repaired. I'm sorry that you have to see such death and destruction in your journey here. It's unfortunately far too common these days.
I'm sorry to hear that. You mean to say that this isn't the first incident in your area?
Unfortunately, no. They've this is the first. This is. He kind of sighs. He goes, "This is much to discuss in this environment. Would you perhaps meet us in the hall?"
Of course.
Certainly.
Would it be presumptuous of me if I permitted our friends and associates to accompany us?
He looks over at them and goes, "Of course, a friend of the Wong is a friend of the Wong-Zuhai."
I appreciate it. Thank you, Diane.
He kind of nods. And before
Soleil will give a little bow to excuse himself and go and fetch particularly Aurora.
as you do that, you see the Diane kind of looks up at the bugbear, and Feng, you hear, him say something like, my legs are getting sore, and the bugbear nods and very respectfully, like, picks him up. As they walk to one of the largest buildings in this area. It's surrounded by skyscrapers, but most of these buildings are probably, maybe 5 stories high at the tallest. Done in a distinctive blend of course, Solarian Galvanoid architecture mixed. So you have lots of the, like flame and earth symbolism and designs intermixed with goblinoid characters and tapestries hanging from buildings. Lots of the banners of Clan Wong-Zuhai. And so you could presume this is probably the clan hall where the Diane does like the business and meeting work of the clan. So then we'll pass back to Soleil, approaching Aurora.
How's Aurora looking, Lily?
She's kind of just. She's probably honestly just sitting down, but like, it's not like she has her sketchbook out or anything. She's kind of just sitting there, just kind of staring.
He'll kind of crouch next to her, give her a little affectionate nudge of his body weight against hers. You okay?
I suppose the hesitation says enough.
Hmm. You up to a bit of adventurous problem solving?
I think so. I mean, we're helping these folks, right?
We're sure as hell gonna try, I think.
That's good. Yeah, no, I'm up to it. Sorry, I'm feeling a little out of it, I think.
You're upset about Sharit, aren't you?
I mean, I guess if anything, I'm more upset at myself, but it's not a good time to unpack feelings like that when we're surrounded by this.
Well, I'm sure that she's a lot more understanding than you probably think. I mean, if she's any relation of Nafisa's anyway.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Come on,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
go ahead.
She just, well, I guess in some way I thought that she and I were quite similar in the way that she just does her best to get by. But I think she's a lot more mature than I am. And I think she's also older than I am, so I guess that makes sense, but I don't know, I guess.
So she's had a few more years of practice, so what?
This is the first time she really looks up at you. Just with this soft little smile and eyebrows pointed upwards, just like, you're right, I can get better too.
Come on.
Thank you.
Of course. Let's put that big brain of yours to better use, okay?
I don't know how much help I'm gonna be here, but I'd love to help.
All right. He'll get back up to his feet and hold out a hand to lift you up too.
She'll accept it.
All right. I think they're heading this way.
All right, you lead the way.
And he'll go to meet back with the others.
Okay. Nafisa?
I think I might stay with Sharit. I know we need to help, but I trust that you guys will make the right decision, and then you'll come back, and then you tell me where we go to beat somebody up, and we'll beat them up.
Very well.
God, I hope it's that simple.
Even if it's not, we'll figure it out, don't worry.
As you all have been doing your various conversations, you haven't really noticed what Omega's been doing.
Oh no.
So
Oh no, I forgot about Omega.
I'm on sister duty. Duty, that's what I'm saying.
So you see Omega just kind of walk through the crowd to get to the burned out building that the people are trying to like look through. And a lot of people like comment as Omega walks by because Omega's very strange looking, even strange compared to you guys. And especially because Omega just barefoot all the time. And they walk into the ruins that the people are kind of excavating, and you see like a bugbear and a hobgoblin are working to like move a broken down like support beam or something off of an area. And you see Omega just silently goes up and just touches the beam, and you just see it begin to disappear as Omega touches it. And the two goblinoids are quite surprised by this experience, and they just seem to be silently kind of walking through the ruins, just deconstructing things that are seemingly proving to be problematic for the people working.
Does anybody know how she does that?
I don't know. I couldn't hazard a guess.
Okay. Huh. Well, I mean, she's helping people. That's good, right?
Nafisa, if you're electing to stay behind, maybe you can help keep an eye on Omega too.
Okay, I have two hands, and she'll quickly get up from Shari, grab Omega, and then just like, the sound of like when something like you're dragging furniture and it's scraping the floor? Given how heavy Omega is.
Oh, as you try and like pull Omega, you see Omega just keeps extending out their arm further and further as they keep doing what they're doing. And, at a certain point, maybe when you get like 10 feet away and it's just, their arm is continuing. This definitely gets the attention of everyone who's in the area.
Okay, Omega, can we sit on the bench for a little bit?
Omega says, "We are simply trying to make this a more efficient process. They are failing based on their own limitations."
Omega, I think we should review chapter 14, subsection 2 from Professor Jacob's notes on cultural interactions. People do not like being told where they are doing a bad job at something when there is a lot of emotion. So we will sit back and we will take notes, okay?
Omega looks at you and with those very aperture-like eyes that zoom in or that the irises kind of dilate and shrink down in the very lens-like way, looks at you and they say very levelly, You had asserted that it would be appropriate to help people who are in need. We are helping them in the scenario that they have presented us. If it is inappropriate to help them, then we will cease. We just assumed that because they are proving inept that they required the assistance.
You know, Tomeka, you're right. But we need to work with them to make things better. I mean, you know, I'd feel bad if somebody took my job of being the group photographer one day. Because I know you can take photos better than me, but I still like doing it. And then she is going to bring Omega, or just pull her arm longer to Diane Corlu. I understand you are, or are they still
He
here,
was
by the way,
getting he actually left a bit ago because he had the Xinyan pick him up and take him to the hall.
Is the Shuyan still here? Or
Yeah, the Shuyan will still be here. He's probably going to be heading to the hall soon, but
excuse me, Shuyan Risho. Is there anything my friend here can help with? She wants to be very helpful, especially in this time of need. Is there anything she could move or do?
the hobgoblin kind of blinks and goes, they, or she seemed to be quite capable of presumably magically destroying some of those things. I never seen someone do it like that before.
They're very special. But is it okay if they keep doing it? I know some people are like staring.
Yes, I think as long as they're receptive to the people familiar with the area, I would hate for them to destroy something that has emotional significance. But it doesn't seem like they are harming anyone.
Okay. That's good. Then Omega, there it is. I am so sorry for stopping you. You can keep going. Just be careful, okay? I know you can be efficient, but please take it slow for them.
Omega
And
looks at you before you head off and goes, "We were helping them. You were trying to inhibit our process. You should pay more attention to your own words and actions."
I'm sorry, there's so many words, Omega. I just want to make sure you're not accidentally tripping over any of the ones we didn't talk about, you know?
We are very accurate. We would not trip.
I know, Omega. I know. Keep helping. I will be here to interrupt and obstruct you again should I feel the need to.
We caution you from obstructing us. It would be wasteful of both your time and, more importantly, ours.
We're friends, right, Omega?
That is correct. You have attributed us as a friend to you.
Then nothing I do for you will be a waste.
Your statement appears to be heartfelt if it is, of course, incorrect, but we understand that you are asserting sentimentality into a inaccurate claim.
It is okay. You will understand my accuracy one day. And she will go back to Sharit.
All right. So with that, Risho will head into the hall. Very beautiful hall once you guys get inside of it. You see just like this is incredibly like it's probably about 3 stories of probably like actual floors, but the first floor has a very high like vaulted kind of ceiling to it. And it's got very like ceiling to floor tapestries which have just beautiful scenes that seemingly are built by different artists over time, because you can see where, especially Aurora can tell this, you can see where artistic like stylings change like through the art and weave work, or just for the actual like paintings and stuff, but they're always like a common theme that is being woven together despite its differences by the particular interpreter. And for those of you who speak Goblinoid, you see, a lot of these are talking about the history of Clan Wong-Zuhai, and you see some of these depict events that are from many centuries ago. And it's just everywhere here is all of this art going across the entire room as if the entire clan's history is being memorialized in art pieces that cover every inch of this place. And you see at a table in the front of the hall, kind of raised up on a slight stage, you see the Dayen and the Xinyan sitting there with some tea and coffee already arranged. And the Shuyan goes to sit down as well, and there are seats available for you guys to join them.
Definitely take a seat. Aurora will watch the other two sit to make sure that she's sitting in a properly respectful way.
Yeah, the Dayan nods, kind of looks at you and goes, "It did not seem appropriate to talk about the full details of these things in front of everyone there in the scene of most recent tragedy."
Of course.
But there has been efforts as of late by, we believe, the coronal houses to try and expand their holdings into the Penumbra. And there has apparently been a upsurge of international expatriates who are looking for additional housing, and it has coincided with a series of arson attacks throughout the city that seemingly only happen in the non-aligned portions. We have seen others who have gone through a similar cycle, where first they burn buildings that no one is using at a time, warehouses, abandoned or dilapidated buildings. Then they begin to expand additionally, and throughout each step of the way, there are continual offers by developers to purchase the lands for efforts to redevelop it in a safer and more effective means. When people refuse, the attacks become more targeted, and the death toll begins to rise until eventually they are broken, and if they can't sign the deal with any level of favoritism, they will sell it on pennies on the coin. But we had hoped that our efforts would have avoided this, but it seems that we are nearing our own critical point. Xinyan, the bugbear, nods, and she says, my forces in the Roshan Dai. And as she says that, the Dayan goes and looks over at Aurora and goes, apologies, it's our neighborhood watch. Aurora, make a history check. DC 20.
God. Oh, God. 14.
Nope. You
No.
have never
Nope.
heard this term before. Feng and Soleil know that the Roshan Dai are not the neighborhood watch. They are basically like the Yakuza of a goblinoid clan. They are the
Oh, so God, what are they freaking called? They're like tongs.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
They're clan like underworld enforcers and protection people for goblinoid communities and stuff. They act as kind of a paramilitary force for generally urban based clans. So it is quite the whitewashed understatement to call them the neighborhood watch to Aurora. um, and the bugbear resumes and goes, "We have been trying to deal with the various incursions, but unfortunately, we do not have enough numbers to be able to counter the sheer amount of provocateurs and mercenaries that are working as cat's paws for, we believe specifically, House Jade Viper and House Ember Wolf. So, unfortunately, despite our best efforts, things like last night are able to happen."
Oh, at least, I mean, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. They're just trying to get rid of y'all for land development.
The Diane kind of smiles and goes, "An astute girl you are. We have reached similar conclusions, but
Uh,
Clan Wong-Zuhai has resided in Zhuhai for 700 years. We predate even the Desolation's exodus."
no, I get that 100%. I don't know how familiar you are with international politics, but I'm a refugee from Erixia,
He kind of
so
nods.
I know all about a more powerful person coming in and claiming your home.
Understandable, and we are sorry for your loss and what you have
Oh,
suffered, girl.
no, I don't mean to make this about me or nothing. I'm saying that because I'd love to I'd love to help in any way that I can to at least feel a little bit of vindication for my own personal feelings.
He kind of nods, and he he can't actually like reach you from the other side of the table because he's a goblin.
Hmm.
But he does take out his cane and just kind of lightly taps your head with it from across the table. uh, and he smiles and goes, "It is still appreciated that a stranger in a strange land would be willing to help us. I don't know what you all are capable of. I know that you look seemingly quite capable, especially as he looks over at Soleil." um, but if you would be willing to assist, I'm sure that the Roshan Dai could use the additional hands.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I know that we have a bit of a knack for creative problem solving, so to speak.
And as essentially outsiders to what what the clans of the city at large may recognize, I imagine that we might be able to assist in ways that would be impossible for for the clan, uh, others as entrenched in the city as they are.
One moment. I just have to turn off my alert sound.
Hello, Raiders.
I forgot I had not turned that down. Okay, and okay, now we're Gucci Gang. But yeah, so the Diane kind of nods and goes, well, we're very much appreciative, and I believe we'll need the help tonight, as it should be when they launch their largest attack to try and cause as much chaos and destruction if they follow the methods of the other communities we've seen suffer.
Every night. God.
I
More
apologize.
aggressive. Go ahead, Soleil.
I apologize if this is a foolish question, but have you not reached out to the other clans for some method of collaboration against them?
He kind of sighs and says, we have, of course, we've reached out, but the other clans and we are limited in how much assistance we can provide, as they have to defend their own territories from similar situations. We have brought up efforts in the Ro Yu Ying to try and create a coordinated response, but there are simply too many sellswords and mercenaries over too large of an area. Roshan Dai can only coordinate so much. For Soleil and Feng, you know that the Ro Yu Ying is basically an interclan council where several clans in an area / city will kind of create a body to coordinate efforts and mutual support against exactly stuff like this. But he goes, so the most we've been able to really accomplish is intelligence sharing.
And what have you learned from that?
Oh, that is where, in part, we have learned the order of operations that these ne'er-do-wells engage in, and why we suspect they will strike tonight. And Zoli kind of chimes in and goes, we have coordinated to try and reach a potential solution that we think can at least deflect the problem for a considerable time until they think that people have forgotten.
And is there a way that we may assist with this? Or in what way may we best ply our assistance, I suppose?
Zoli kind of looks over at the Diane and very she never makes eye contact with anybody, but she kind of looks over at him, and the Diane kind of nods, and she turns back towards you guys and goes, we believe that if we can capture one of the house agents alive after one of their attacks, we can expose their connections to the houses and show that this is a coordinated effort to try and drive us from our homes for their own greed. The pushback that would cause from public exposure would lead to the other houses acting as a deterring effort for the worst thing that happens in the Solari Empire is when you are publicly exposed for your misconduct. It is tolerated and even encouraged in many ways up until it is known. At that point, they are obligated to take action. So, they will, of course, throw the agent under the bus and say this is simply the actions of lower level functionaries of the House, but it is at least enough of a public relations disaster amongst the House's own interpolitics that they'll have to figure out something else before they do some new scheme to drive us out of here.
Buy some time, at least.
Indeed, perhaps years, perhaps months, but it will be time, and in this struggle, time is our greatest asset.
There was a more permanent way of dealing with this repeated aggression.
You mentioned mercenaries as well. They're outsourcing their forces.
The Shu Yan kind of chimes in and goes, well, so to speak, it's difficult to explain the full extent of the way that the coronal houses work, but in this country, nearly everything belongs to a house directly or through subsidiaries. Now, that makes them very influential and expansive, but by their own code of conduct, being connected directly to these things is a negative point. So there are vast webs of mercenaries, criminals, sellswords, etc., who work as the day-to-day muscle of the various houses as they exert their shadow wars against each other. They, of course, are entirely on the payroll of their house, and many of them are members of it, but for the purposes of the bizarre illusion that these people like to engage in, they are not directly a part of the House for political reasons.
I see.
The Diane kind of sighs and shakes his head as he then kind of rubs the bridge of his nose and eyes and says, they say that before the fall of before the fall of the unnamed dynasty, that the Ashen Emperor kept these things more in check, but for the last several centuries, that's not been the case, and the Ashen Emperor is little more than a figurehead as the houses engage in their politicking with each other.
Well, we felt very welcome by your clan, and this whole situation sounds rotten to the core. So I think we'd be happy to and whatever combat capabilities we have. I know at least I may not look it, but um I like to think that the rest of us are pretty good in a pinch, so we we're here to help.
Thank you. It means a great deal to us that you would help us, and it provides further validation as he looks over at Feng for our wise counsel in ensuring Shi Wen was able to find a new and happier life.
Yes, I will do my utmost to make sure that this is a peace that can last for as long as I can make it.
Nods and says, well, if you would like, we could find you a place to stay around here to be close. We, of course, can pay you to ensure that your services are not being simply donated to us. We understand this is not your fight, and it's a worthwhile expense for our clan.
I would need to discuss such a matter with my party, of course, but I do not think that I personally, at least, would require something in the way of payment. As far as I'm concerned, this is my fight, not merely because of the clan to which I belong, but because you are simply other people who are suffering, and I have the ability to do something about that.
You do Shi Wen great honor, and Clan Wong in turn.
And you honor me in turn.
He looks over at the rest of you and says, I will coordinate with the Shu Yen and Xin Yen about arranging your quarters and compensation if you feel appropriate. There will be a funeral ceremony later today. Normally we would do it at night, but given what we expect, it is better that they be passed on in time of greater peace.
Of course.
Well, enough of wasting your time with the ramblings of an old man. I think it is time that we release you to do what you must do. I thank you all for at least hearing me out, regardless of what you decide on. And he kind of begins to shakily stand up, and the Shu Yan and Xin Yan stand up as well and move to help escort him out of the hall. And there you guys are. There's still some coffee and tea on the table if you want some.
That's the payment.
Yep.
Really good tea. I think we best check in on Nafisa and fill her in. Omega 2.
Of course, it's only fair that the group as a whole is able to weigh in on such an important decision.
But before that, I think since this is something that's kind of like, well, I guess for lack of a better word, hitting close to home. Are you two feeling okay about this?
Oh, I mean, yeah, this is important, but like, this isn't like. Of course, I care. I care about what's going on, but this is. It's not exactly my clan that we're fighting for right now.
I mean, I get it. Never mind. I think I'm a little sensitive today. I'll lay off.
That's
No,
all right.
I think. I mean, Feng, I know you probably have more of a attachment to these folks than I do.
Yes,
You
I
gonna be
suppose I
alright
do.
to take care of some things?
Certainly. I don't see why I wouldn't.
Well, personal attachments can make things a little messy, so I trust your ability to compartmentalize.
I will do my utmost then.
All right. And with that, do you guys leave the hall?
Yeah,
I
I'll
believe
definitely
so.
take some tea to go, but
Um, something that all three of you would notice, just once you've gotten more close exposure to the Diane, is that gold robe is because, much like the tapestries, it is done in a similar way, where it seems that generations of people have been adding on to it. And you could presume it might have been previous Dianes that have each added a different story to the robe. But that's why it's basically all gold now.
I like to imagine that Aurora took like some sort of goblinoid art class similar to how we could.
Comparative art.
Yeah, comparative art to like understand the basics of what makes goblinoid art like itself.
Mhm.
She's very when we were looking through all the different places on the way in, she's like, well, hey, look, it's the real thing. Taking notes.
Yeah, I could see that. You got the vibe for it. You took your art history
My
class,
my
and
freshman class is paying off.
yeah, that elective.
Yeah.
Everyone said you should have taken High Sylvan as your elective instead, but you decided to do the comparative cultural art history. um, but yeah, and so with that, you guys could leave the hall. It also, just based on your experience in the tea house, you understand the dual tragedy that happens in these arson attacks. Aside from the building and its people being killed, is so much of goblinoid culture does not involve like books. It involves art and preserving history and stories through art and tapestries and weavings and stuff. And so when these houses burn, they lose all of that as well. So, because generally everything is a one of a kind piece that is made. So you can only imagine what would be lost if this hall burned.
I'm disgusted as a member of the clan, as a common person, and as a historian.
And with that, you go back to Nafisa and Sharit. Nafisa, you know that Omega made the process actually significantly more efficient. They were able to basically almost break down the entire house at this point. Omega basically tore it down to its foundation, just by just seemingly deconstructing everything in it. That they were apparently receptive to not destroying certain things when pointed out about it, but aside from that, it is now essentially a foundation with some burn marks on it.
Very good. I will frame a photo I took of her for her.
And your three friendos come outside and rejoin you.
Nafisa will wave them over. So, how did it go?
Well, thinking we've stumbled upon something pretty big here, to be honest. But
Sharit, do you mind if we talk about what we'll be doing to help, or do you want to go home and rest? It's been a lot today.
I think I will go home and rest, sister. I don't think that I can do much to help here.
Do you want us to walk you back?
No, I think the time alone will be helpful.
Okay, sister. We will send a letter for Aurora staying the night in case you want to see us.
She
I
nods.
love you.
She bends down and picks you up and kisses your forehead.
I love you, sister.
I love you too, sister. And she puts you down and her clawed hooves clip clop away.
I'm sorry, Soleil, you were explaining?
no, I think that these folks need help. And I think Feng here is personally invested, and I think it'd be good for us to do what we can. How do you feel about fighting some bad guys, Nafisa?
I mean, I'm always down, I know we had that whole talk about, not killing people, but, I'm still going to, bash their skull in, That's
Good, good.
Tomoko, right?
Alright, good. Yeah, totally.
I mean, if you accidentally kill one of them, that's probably not a bad thing.
Out of character, weren't you guys told to bring an agent back alive or whatever?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Out of character, you were in fact told to bring at least one of them back alive.
As long
But-
as long as there is one.
Yeah, just one.
Alright.
Yeah,
Anyways.
one.
Okay, so what? Where are we going? What are we doing? Are we investigating? Cause I don't have the glasses for that.
No, you don't need the classes. They're giving us a place to stay because they expect there's gonna be another one tonight. They want some help fighting it back.
Okay.
It might be good, though, to see if there's not additional ways in which we may be of service here. They gave us, strictly speaking, while I am not one to actively seek out violence, they gave us the, I feel, more legally acceptable avenue for aiding them. I can't help but imagine there might be some other things that we may be able to do within our conscience that would nonetheless be perhaps not a orthodox legal action.
I mean, as long as we do good, that's all that matters, right? So, like, I mean, we did good before, right? And people thought we were bad guys, but we did the good things, so we just do good thing again, right?
Right,
Yes.
So, where should we go first?
I mean, I suppose we can look around, but I think they got the plan.
Then for tonight, should we plan it out? Like, I know we technically cover more ground if we split up, but if we, route things ahead of time, so we're closer to each other, but also covering good ground, it's like, hunting, right, Soleil? Like your usual patrol routes and stuff, and then you see deer, and then you jump deer, and then you eat deer, except we're eating fire.
You can eat fire.
Some people can.
We
I
should
can't.
most likely ensure that we have access to adequate firefighting equipment, certainly, but beyond that, also inability to communicate. Should we need to split apart to more effectively patrol the area?
I have some gold. We could buy some of those, like, talkie stones.
That could work.
Okay, now what about the water? I mean, we could carry buckets of water around, but I don't think they're strong enough for that. Do you think we should ask the clan if they have any? Because if they know what's going on, then they're probably already prepared, right? I mean, they should have, like, emergency options like at every street, right? Out of character, is there like a fire alarm system in this neighborhood?
There's not a fire alarm per se system, but
Is there like that like old thing where you can like ring the nearest like fire department via like the bell system or whatever?
yeah, there's a way to signal the like community fire thing.
Got it.
It does not seem like many city services are available here in the Penumbra, so it's basically what the clan does as its own services to itself. So they probably have their own acting firefighting force, as well as when you're spending some time here, you'll see the Xinyan is coordinating various people to kind of low key begin setting up supplies throughout the city for a potential water thing at a potential arson attack tonight. Thankfully, this is a port city, so there's lots of seawater you can always get for this purpose. And so they do seem to be low key. There's also radios, like there is broadcast systems throughout the neighborhood. So presumably there is in the clan hall itself like a central broadcast center that they can notify people like when shit's going down.
What?
I said,
could you repeat that? You cut off.
yes, I
Sorry.
said there's probably a central radio thing that they can use to notify people of stuff happening.
Okay.
Well, Soleil, I don't know if you got any experience firefighting, but I'm sure.
Frankly, I've never had the need, so.
Fair enough. You tieflings do tend to be pretty resistant in the first place. I mean, there's probably gonna be people doing the arson, so can probably just count on you to beat the shit out of them.
I think I if that's how fighting fires is done, I think I can handle that.
Preventative medicine.
Right.
Literally fighting the fires, says Omega.
Aurora, do you know anything along the lines of sleet spells? Something like that, perhaps?
I can't say that I do. I don't really have much that would help here. A lot of my magic like that is mostly for plants and stuff, which I don't think throwing plants on the fire is going to help very much.
Hmm.
Omega says,
Out of character, who in this party, other than I do, have access to bags of holding?
I think just you.
with money.
All right. Well, I mean, are we doing this currently within the within where we're going to be staying?
I'm
Presumably.
assuming we'd be like walking to where we be
Yeah,
staying,
walking
right?
and talking.
Yeah.
All right. The second that I'm able to, I'm taking out one of my bag of holding infusions, and I'm taking the things that I usually keep in it out and filling it with water.
Okay.
I also want to make sure that I've got my resistant armor infusion on and set that to fire.
Okay. Is there any initial like prep work things you guys want to do aside from that?
Do we want to try to pick up stones of far speech?
It's probably not necessary. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Then I think as Nafisa's walking, she is going to start mentally mapping the neighborhood, or if it gets to like a complicated enough point, she will be writing it in her journal, just so that because it's their first time in the city, and like 2 of them aren't goblins, so it might not click with them as well, just to make sure that we have an easier time routing when chaos ensues.
Gotcha. Yeah, these streets are a lot windier than, you think back to Theracum and it's perfectly organized and gridded out city, and then you come to the Penumbra and it's very much sprawling, buildings kind of just have popped up here over the centuries that people live in. Real Boston vibes. But you were about to say something, Soleil?
Yeah, I was just gonna say probably redundant and maybe irrelevant, but just for his own ease of mind, I think up into go time, he's going to kind of soft patrol the area.
Okay.
Like, we can say, if it works out better that he's with Nafisa and just trying to like clock any potentially suspicious characters.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then Aurora.
Boy, she feel like a bit of fish out of water in this situation. I imagine she's probably just like looking around to try and see kind of where people are, because one of the things that she does have is like the ability to essentially soft transport people. So like trying to identify like, okay, where's the important people? Just first things first, to try and make sure that she knows like, okay, this is probably where it's going to be attacked because it's the important people, and like who's there, so she can be ready to like, and where in the building are they, so she can be ready to zip them on out if necessary.
Gotcha. Yeah, you as everybody's kind of doing their own thing. You are basically directed that the clan hall is kind of the headquarters operation for the community, and so the everyone except for the so the Dayan and basically his staff will be coordinating there, and then the Shinyan is definitely going to be out with her crew, fucking people up, and the Shuyen will likely be trying to assist with the other arcanists to try and throw up wards, protections, and like try and put out fires as they arise, which will manifest in specific mechanics that you guys have during the encounter itself. But yeah, it definitely seems like probably the Nexus, pun intended, point will be in the neighborhood area in front of the clan hall. So, Soleil, give me a quick perception check.
Yes'm.
Could they do that with advantage since they're working together?
They're kind of doing two different things, is Soleil and
Ah,
Nafisa.
okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
Well,
floor.
that's a hot 8 from me.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't see anything super suspicious. You'll see cars and stuff drive through. Um, you'll see, some like carriages and stuff come through. Some manually, what are they called? Pedicabs and stuff coming through, but doesn't seem to be anybody that looks like they're about to case this place or burn it down. Um, Nafisa,
Yeah.
give me a.
I work
Sorry.
with suspicious people, so my idea of suspicious is kind of skewed.
Yep. And this is a different clan of people and stuff. You're used to the people hearing stories from your dad and how like dysfunctional they were. So your standard for what is people acting weird and suspicious is very much skewed. Told you about this guy named Paint. Yeah.
Pain.
Good old Paint. Nafisa, make a survival check for me.
Oh, I should be good at this. That is a 17. I am pretty good at this.
Okay. You figure, as you walk the streets and stuff, you could probably, after a couple hours of this, you could definitely be able to weave through this community without, like, getting lost, basically. So, if in case of a crisis point, you're pretty confident you can weave through it.
She's like Sherlock Holmesing it, and like you can see like the breakdown of like the architecture and maps around her.
But yeah, also during the day, you will see that there will be a mass gathering in front of the clan hall as the thousands and thousands of people arranged for this as the 10 bodies undergo a goblinoid funeral process where I won't go into the full detail of it all, but because it's a drawn out affair, but there's a lot of speeches and prayers that are said, and you see that there is a goblinoid Talon who is kind of assisting with the officiation of it, but it's actually being administered by the Diane himself, where the 10 bodies are kind of positioned out in the square with the community surrounding them as their rodai are displayed nearby. And for those who speak Goblinoids, people talk about the lives that these people had lived, their names, stories of note of them. And you see people, while it's being done, there are various artists who are creating tapestries of the stories that are being said about each of these people. And it culminates with the bodies being lit on fire and kind of being cremated and broken down into ashes to blow away. It's supposed to sever the bindings of the soul in this world and allow it to transition to be with the ancestors of the clan. And the Rodai forms the lasting bond that will tie them to the living members of the clan. And once that's completed, the Rodai are added to a vast armory is an inaccurate but also very accurate term to describe it, where you see that there's just tens of thousands of weapons. Presumably these belong to various generations of people, and the most recent Rodai get added along with the names of their wielder, and then the tapestries will be further refined and worked on, and then they will be displayed in a portion of the community in one of the buildings or some of the buildings. So
Is the scarf that Sharit gave for Zhu, is that noticeable on top of her road eye?
Yes, yes, that particular scarf is there. You also notice there's a lot of these cases where some of their rodi have various like trinkets and stuff attached to them, and it's kind of explained to you that those generally are specifically from outside members of the community who are not goblinoid, but providing something that showed the significance of that person to their life. And so there are many thousands of these that have all kinds of things. Some of them, you'll see some that have like a photograph next to it, showing, like a hobgoblin standing next to like an elf as they're like fishing. Or you'll see that there is like a candy bar that is next to one of these weapons. And it's like some of these are just very odd trinkets and doodads that you see, but supposedly they had significance to the person who gave them. So they are preserved with the person that evoked that legacy in whoever was from abroad.
It's really sweet.
All right. Yes.
Can I ask in character too? The party's like, this is standard for goblinoid culture, yeah?
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Of course.
And with that, the ceremony will come to an end. The night will begin to fall, and your real work begins. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before night falls?
Let's go kill some capitalists.
Alrighty. So yeah, with that, night falls, and there is clearly a tension in the air. There are people on the streets, but they are, clearly the ones who are non-combatant types are kind of out of the scene. Everyone here has a job, and they're just kind of waiting to perform it. And waiting is in fact the hardest part, because it's like every sound becomes, is this something happening? Is somebody pulling a trigger? Is somebody lighting a match? Etc. But then you begin to see some smoke appear across the skyline of the community, and you begin to hear the shouts, and you begin to hear sirens going off, and then you hear over the radio system the voice of the Dai-Yen telling people to begin the defenses and to follow their assigned roles. And you see more and more of these smoky images pops up around the community, and then you begin to see it getting closer to home as some figures come into sight, as you start hearing gunfire in the distance, and screams and shouts, and you hear the braying of like wolves, hounds maybe? It's hard to say. As you rush into the area, you see that coming at you from multiple directions is figures who are not wearing uniforms but are distinctly non-goblinoid killers. And you see these things that look like a large, kind of like a temple dog, except they're made of obsidian, and their stone flesh is cracked in parts, and like fire is coming out of them, and their eyes just blaze with with these molten like white flames, and they are kind of loping through the streets and breathing fire onto buildings as you see a hulking woman made of like a mix of marble and terracotta as she's walking forward with this enormous Tetsubo style club, just like smashing through buildings. And you see two fire ganassi that one of them is like his hair is literally set up like it is kind of the lashing of like the sun's like arms, like where you see the little plasma thing extend out and collapse inward. That's how his hair is structured. Like his head is its own little like sun object. And his eyes just glow this bright yellow, and he's got elaborate tattoos running all along his body and face, and his hands are just projecting out these beams of light. And then finally you see a female fire ganassi that her head is somewhat structured where it pulls like a volcano, like an open volcano, except the fire coming out of the volcano is like forming into a ponytail behind her. And she is wielding a like very advanced looking bow that is projecting out streams of like light energy as she's shooting people in the streets as they proceed converging on this clan hall. And so with that, I'm going to need you guys to put yourselves on the map.
Oh.
1 second.
Say those magical 2 words, Obs.
Okay.
Don't forget the 3 words that precede those 2 magical words.
Let's
Oh,
kill
it's 3. It's 3.
capitalists.
Excuse me.
Click your tokens.
Click your
roll
Click
initiative.
your tokens
Okay.
and roll initiative.
Oh man, where do I want to be?
So,
I want a big lady.
it is in fact a very big stone lady.
Ooh.
There appear to be 4 of those like temple dogs. There is the archer at the north end. There is the like unarmed guy over here, the big stone lady, and then the 4 temple dogs. And you put yourselves anywhere in the central blue area. Is that
And
ready?
they are all bad news.
They're all bad.
Such a shame.
Who?
Woo!
Non-lethal though.
Game's
Okay.
easy. Game's
It's
easy.
okay. That's Omega rolling a natural 20. It's
Yeah.
not the enemies. We're happy about this.
Or you could be upset. That would show
So
me.
Mega gets-
Have them intentionally delay their actions so they don't make you look bad with their high initiative.
It's okay. If anything, it just proves to them that we're inefficient. So
Yep, it's just confirmation bias.
yeah.
Oh no, we're just scared citizens. Don't hurt us.
And then finally, the Sun Soul. Okay. Hoppa! Move you out of the way. Okay, so we got a lot of people involved with this. You guys have put yourselves down in your blue box, so I can safely remove it. Okay. There are several mechanics that will be in play during this fight, so that I can explain it to the audience as well. So during this fight, you may as a action or bonus action, request the various goblinoid forces to assist you. Now, the idea is these bad guys are in fact intending to burn this place down. So you can either on your turn, using an action or bonus action, give you advantage on all your attack rolls as the various Shin Yi, the various shadow warriors of the clan, help basically provide supporting fire and actions to your attacks, or you can have them take half of the effort it's necessary to put out the fire on one of the buildings. Currently, there are no fires, so you don't have to worry about that right now, but it'll take 2 people in the party basically to put out one fire if you don't use some kind of spell or whatever to do it.
Could we, just for clarity, could
Yeah.
we use an action and a bonus action on our turn?
Yeah, if you want to spend your whole turn coordinating,
Yeah.
I guess you can do that.
Okay, just double checking. Thank you.
Yep. There will be smoke inhalation issues if you do not have fire resistance or an ability that makes it so you don't have to breathe, such as Omega being a Warforged. There's also, if buildings start catching fire, you'll take damage as you get closer to them. And your win conditions are you have to capture 1 person who out of the 3 humanoid people alive. And you have to prevent the bad guys from burning down 3 clusters of buildings. For the purposes of this top left quadrant, all of those buildings count as 1 cluster. And this one down here is 1, this is 1, and this is 1. So, with that being said, we also have an additional special rule that we're going to be trying out regarding the companion buffs. I'm going to turn that down, it's a little loud. Okay.
Burning Village ASMR.
Yep. Let me know if the Burning Village sounds are too loud or not. But Omega, as your companion, gives the entire party reactive adaptation. Once a turn, any given character can choose to give themselves resistance to the damage type that they are about to take, and it lasts until the end of their next turn. So that's Omega's nanomachines basically help fortify you guys to resist and process any damage you're about to take. So, with all that being said, Omega's gonna go first. Alrighty. I would have you guys tell me where you wanted Omega to go, but because it's Omega, they're gonna do what they think is the most efficient thing possible. You see Omega body begins to shift as their arms begin to form into these like serrated like razor blades that are faintly like glowing, and their legs become much more angular, and you see like spikes begin to form on the skin there as they activate their astral hands monk. What is it called? The arms of the astral self. Unfortunately, nobody's nearby them to take damage from the transformation, and they immediately go to pounce on one of these wolves. So you see Omega just dart forward with these razor blade-like arms and is going to do their monk attacks. So, not rolling with advantage. Oof. That's a 9, a 16, and what is the AC of these guys? 15. Okay. So they're going to see how much damage. So they do 7 force damage, and then they are going to flurry of blows. So pop off 2 more attacks into this doggo. And There we go, that's better rolling. 7 and 9, so another 16.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. So yeah, you guys see Omega just, like, pounce forward into this, like, big stone and fire temple dog. And their arms are just, like, digging into this thing. And you just see, like, chunks of it begin to just disappear. Like, as if they were never there. Just whole swaths of it are just, like, torn free as if it was never a part of them. As just slicing through them at a molecular level. And you see at one point their leg just connects into it, and it's like they never face any resistance when they attack something with these abilities. It's just like their body is now reforming around where the blow is, as if that portion of their body was never there. So that will be.
Pops, I'm sorry, you were cutting out a little bit there.
They just fucked him up,
Yeah.
basically.
Let's go fuck him up!
Yeah.
Go fuck him up!
Now the living stone will go. The living stone is gonna do a quick measure. Yep. We're gonna trundle towards your girl,
It's me, your girl!
Nafisa. You see this enormous marble and terracotta woman with her huge club, and she looks down at you and goes, "You're making a big mistake helping these things."
You mean the houses? Because you said things, right? I assume that follows up with a bonk.
Yep, you get a big bonk for a 15.
No.
Okay, then with their offhand, they're gonna try to just punch the shit out of you. Nope, and no, goddamn. Nafisa, you are very spry, compared to this enormous Earth Ganassi woman. And she slams the club down, and you can just dodge out of the way, and then she's trying to punch into you, but you're ducking and weaving even in your heavy armor.
Like just David and the Goliath type story.
Yep. Alright, the first of the firewolves goes. This firewolf, the bottom right, is going to use his breath weapon at the building. And that's the lock button. There we go. And you see fire. There we go.
This is how we
Realistically
do it.
rendered. Yeah.
Yep. Artisanally crafted flaming building. So yeah, it uses its breath weapon, and then is going to start bouncing forward. All right, the arcane marksman up here sees Feng and is gonna try and bust a cap in Feng.
Okay.
Alrighty, so she sights in with her solar bow and takes a shot at you. Does a 14 hit?
Nope.
God damn, I'm rolling so many 7s and 8s.
Don't worry, all those attacks would have hit me. Oh wait, no, I have mage armor on. I'm safe.
Oh my god, an 11! What even is this world?
Oddly enough, an 11 hits.
If only.
Game's easy when the DM rolls poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for my turn to roll poorly.
Alright, let me measure something. Okay, so
Hey, push that back 5 feet. Thank you.
okay, so she walks forward 25 feet, does her action surge, and she is going to use her piercing arrow ability, firing a 30-foot long line from her through Feng and Aurora. So, Feng and Aurora, please make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Okay. A 10.
Nat 1. Well, at least it can't get worse with a crit.
That's true. This is thankfully, since it's a saving throw, you can't go crit it on, but you do take some damage. So it's going to be this plus 4.
Oof.
So you take
Okay.
16 radiant damage each.
Alright.
then-
Can you use the Omega feature to half that?
You can.
Okay,
The only
thank
one
you.
of you.
So you want it.
No.
So you want to be resistant to radiant damage until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody has it for their own turn.
Yeah.
Got it. I see it. Sorry.
Do you want to use it?
You know what? Sure. Get that 8 HP back.
Okay, and yeah, so she runs forward, and after seeing her first arrows miss, and you just see her kind of swear to herself and hold back as she basically like clicks a button on her solar bow as the like energy cord that forms the drawstring on it like blazes as she pulls back, and you just see this enormous beam of like energy store up charging and just ray right down the street, cracking through your armor. But thankfully, the nanomachines that have been bestowed upon you basically start reinforcing your armor to negate the radiant energy as quickly as it's hitting you, so it doesn't hit quite as strong. Fung, it is your turn.
Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Just see. Alright. I can't use my bonus action to start putting out the fire to the south because I'm not close enough, I assume, right?
No, if you're using your bonus action to have the goblinoids help you, they start doing it. It'd only be if you were personally doing something like, if you were opening up your bag of holding and like spraying water at it. But if you're just having the goblinoids help you guys, you don't have to be next to a fire. You just have to say you're doing it.
Let's see. Actually, because if Nafisa could get freed up here, that would...
Oh, I got a plan for the fire, don't you? Well, I can do like half a thing for the fire.
Oh, I
Maybe.
meant more the stoneman.
You're already hitting on my sister. You don't need another tall woman in your life.
I know,
Okay.
I was... like, do you want the help action?
If you want, but no pressure. I think I can whack this thing, hopefully.
Okay.
Give it a proper bonking.
Yeah, we haven't hit it yet, so we don't know what it's like, what her AC is like.
Alright, then let me just measure here. Alright, let's get one square closer. Bonus action, I want to call in the I guess the fire brigade,
Okay.
so to speak, to start working on that one, and then to try and keep the dog off of them. I am going to tack that one down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you
28.
hit.
for 15 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And
I did not like that. Your fist definitely cracks open some of that stone.
Excellent. I'm meteor hammering my hand right now, just smacking, spinning it, angling it around a light post to hit it from behind, shit like that.
Gotcha. Anything
Let's
else?
try for number 2.
Another one? No.
Yeah, that's fair. I still got one attack off.
14 does
I
not
feel
hit.
okay. I still feel okay. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Nafisa.
Okay, it is my turn, and cool thing about Drake Warden is the dog can change element. For RP reasons, dog will rarely be changing element, but since Soleil can understand Nyx now, it's only fair Nyx gets a little something out of that. Nafisa is going to use bonus action command on Nyx to tell her to deal with the fire, just instinctively believing in Nyx's capability to deal with fire. And Nyx is going to shift forms.
Okay.
I could not finish art of this, but I have a sketch in my sketchbook. I will put it in the art channel. But you see Nyx, as she runs, she freezes over and cracks out in this sort of like deer or Japanese mountain god aesthetic with a deer skull, much like Soleil, but instead of there being an eye hole, there's like several craters and crevices where eyes would be. A fan of antlers with ice dangling off them like little Christmas ornaments. Noticeable skeletal ribcage and other parts sticking out. There's no way for her hooves to connect back to her body. They're just like this ethereal, like ghostly effect to them, and this long mane coming down from her neck, matching Soleil's pink fur when he shifts. And I would flavor text Nyx contributing, using her action to deal with the fire in the bottom right by summoning ice with the same magic that Soleil does when he casts his ice knife.
Okay.
And I will move Nyx down there as she is shooting ice into the fire as one of the 2 actions. As for Nafisa, she is going to whack. That is a 21.
That hits.
That is 10 slashing, and then second attack is a 25. 12 more slashing damage.
Okay, just 1 second. Alright, so 22 damage? God damn.
And, I think I should have done this in the first attack, but it's on me. I'm actually going to use this feature, Favored Foe.
Okay.
I am marking the giant, so I'm under concentration. But each time the first time I hit it on each of my turns, it will take bonus damage.
Okay.
That is all. Oh, and I forgot, Nyx's infused strikes. That's 3 ice damage.
Gotcha.
Sorry, not lightning.
Okay then.
Or cold damage.
Yeah, you dig into their stony hide, and yeah, it cracks a good deal. You see some like oil like blood kind of comes out of it as she grunts in pain, before little ice crystals begin to burst out of the wound, and it just seems to piss her off more.
Who is making the mistake now?
Alright, that everything for you?
That is my turn. I whack.
Okay. So with that, the fire down below has been put out. Oh gosh, it's not letting me select it. Well, it'll be there in spirit, but
It'll be there for when it inevitably happens again.
Yep. Basically. All right, the Sun Soul is going to start running up to go help. Gotta help everybody here. So you see this, the tattooed, like sun-based guy comes running forward, and the tattoos on his body begin to light up as he will be shooting a ray of energy over at Feng first.
I'm pulling cultural aggro.
Yep. That's a 20 to hit you.
That will just do it.
Excellent. You take 10 radiant damage.
Isn't that 5?
Oh yeah, because of you're using the adaptation, so that's 5 radiant damage. And then he is going to, he's going to be a little tricksy. Since you're an artificer, he's going to be a little tricksy about it, so he's not going to do that. But he is now going to shoot Aurora with his second attack.
Yeah.
26.
No, that misses, actually.
You take 3 radiant damage.
Okay.
And he will activate his stunning strike with it.
Oh. Right before my turn.
Make a con save.
You can do it!
Oh, you
Okay.
did it! 16.
I passed a save for like the first time in this campaign.
Your key points.
I believe in a thing called Aurora.
The power of friendship.
Just listen to the rhythm of your heart.
Hey.
What you doing there, DM?
Ah, there we go. As a bonus action, he is going to use his, what is this called? His Searing Arc Strike. So, both of you can make dexterity saving throws. Soleil and Aurora. It's a 15-foot cone.
12.
I'm sorry, who was the second one? Was it me?
Oh, it was Soleil. Soleil and Aurora.
Alright. 15.
Alright, Soleil, you take half damage. Aurora, you take
Yeah.
full. And this is fire damage, so you're going to take half and half again, Soleil. And Aurora, you take full. I believe it's 3d6. It's been a while since I've used Burning Hands.
It is 3d6.
Okay. So, Aurora, you take 11 fire damage, and Soleil, you take 3. Because you take 6, and then it's halved to 3.
Yep.
Okay. That is the Sun Soul's turn. Top Firewolf is going to, you guessed it, use his breath weapon on the top cluster. Burn, baby, burn. Just go inferno. And he's going to hold tight since he is currently in melee with Omega. Aurora, you weren't stunned. What do you want to do with your life?
Yeah, let me draw a thingy.
That's a big.
Okay.
This is a concerning turn of events.
The 40-foot cube. I guess that's technically like a 20. That would be like a super big cube. It's probably more like this. This is slow. I'm trying to cast.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Okay. That can hit all of them up there.
So that would be 2 Firewolves, the Marksman, the Sun Soul, and the Living Stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So slow time.
Alright, so what is your DC?
15.
And it's Wisdom?
Yes.
Okay. So Firewolf in melee with Omega succeeds. Firewolf not in melee with Omega fails. Give a little snaileroo. Where are you, snail?
this dog is a snog.
There we go. There's the
She's
snail.
a special girl.
The Marksman. Failed.
Well,
You hate to see it.
I love to see it. I've been hit a lot. I just put another big target on my back.
The living stone
That's
succeeds,
success.
and the sun soul.
Probably succeeds too.
All right. Nat 20.
Fair enough.
So you got the top wolf and the marksman.
Okay, bonus action. One tick of that fire, please.
Okay.
And Aurora is going to back up into this corner to try and use Nyx and Feng as cover because
That's
she's
fair.
already below half.
Happy to oblige.
Try to get some nice ablative wounds involved. All right, at the next firewolf's turn, the one that is currently slowed, it will use its one action to, you guessed it, fire. Sex is on fire. And it's your halved movement, correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, it says half.
There's so many effects on the spell that I'm
It's
like,
a really good spell.
yeah. One of those things where it's just like, what? It does like 6 different things. It's like, oh, it does it do that too? Right, yeah.
So it slowly goes over to start flanking Omega using its pack tactics. But that's all it can do. Soleil.
I think he's gonna try to take out his fire doggos. They don't keep spreading fires.
Okay.
So y'all know the drill. He's just gonna take a look at this one here that's closest to him, just like click his tongue, just y'all ain't nothing more than a pack of mangy mutts. And you proceed to rip off his skin and that werewolf transformation, rar, and
Rawr.
push on up, and we're gonna try and attack this one right here in front of him.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Attack of the Adago. That's a miss.
14? Boo. 21.
That does hit.
Cool.
Yay.
9 slashing damage.
Okay. You didn't like it. Not one bit. Yeah, that doggo is looking pretty messed up. Pretty darn messed up. Anything else?
That's my action bonus action.
Okay. The firewolf down here at the bottom part of the map is going to breathe fire on this house here. If it makes you feel better, their fire breath is a recharge ability.
That
Okay.
does
It
make
does,
me feel
yeah.
better. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And then he is going to run up and start pack tacticsing on Soleil. All right. And then top of the next turn, Omega. Omega is currently surrounded.
Just where they like it.
Yep. They're not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with them. When the swarm of they-thems come after multiple people. So Omega is going to start digging into that wolf that they've already damaged, reasoning it's best to focus fire on it. That's a miss again with a 9. That's a nat 20
Hey!
for 15 force damage. Omega is going to use another key point to flurry of blows, bringing them down to 4 as they then are going to try and finish this guy off. That's a hit. Oof, only 5. And then another one. Nat 1. This thing is... Top Temple Dog is barely holding on. It is very messed up. As you see just Omega digging into this and just ripping out parts of it, and just you see the fires begin to rupture and then die down immediately as they're being severed from their sources, as just whole chunks of this thing. It's like got two legs that it's like kind of standing on right now, and half of its face has just been clean sheared off, as it is barely alive. The good news is there's no blood or anything anywhere. It seems that when Omega deconstructs things, they just don't exist anymore.
Good old erase tool.
Yep. Undo. Alright, on the 20 part of the turn, we've now fully secured. There is one, and one. So there's now one full turn charge of burning on each of these buildings. If it gets to 3 charges, the building burns down. And these can trigger if you put it out again. So that was the layer action part, our gentrified arson. The living stone goes and is real pissed at Nafisa. It's going to try and use its crushing grip ability on you, Nafisa. So I get to make an attack roll. Does a 20 hit you, Nafisa?
Yes.
Alright. You are now grappled. And it is just real holding you in place.
Thankfully, it's
So-
still only grappling.
So you think. So yeah,
I'm gonna start getting crushed.
yeah, she grabs
probably.
you and is just her open arm is just like slamming you into her stone hide and is continuing to push you in while your body has no give in the stone, and you feel like it's gonna hurt you. Oh yeah, I forgot to make a wisdom saving throw on the slowed wolf from last turn. At the end of its turn, so it will wisdom. It fails still. Okay. The wolf is now going to the bottom wolf. That's orange wolf next to Soleil is going to see if he gets his breath weapon back, which he does not. And he is going to pack tactics, take a snack out of Soleil. So he has
Rude.
advantage. Does a 17 hit you?
It will indeed.
Okay. You take 4 piercing and 3 fire.
Okay.
And that's all he can do.
Right.
His breath weapon is his real big dick move. Alrighty, the marksman. Marksman is down to only a single action it can do. And I believe it's they're capped at only a single attack they can do.
Correct.
Okay. So the first thing I'm obviously going to do then is see if I get my piercing arrow back. Which they do not. So they will try and... They can't shoot Aurora from where they are. So they're at half speed. So let's go. Actually, I have to double check something real quick that I did not remember how it works. We're all learning new things here. Oh, that's unfortunate for that marksman. So what I just read was the Way of the Astral Self Arms mode extends your reach by 5 feet. So Omega has a 10-foot reach.
Yeah.
Nafisa did canonically pull her arm that long.
So yeah, the marksman can't really move that far. They're gonna move a little bit, but still be in the threat from Omega, as they are going to try and shoot Feng. Their one attack is this at like -2, I think? Aurora?
I think their attack is still normal. They just have a
Oh,
negative.
I thought they got a
to
negative to
AC.
hit. Okay.
It's
23.
just the nerf. Yeah, go ahead.
I say, does 23 hit you, Feng?
Yep.
Okay. She is going to use her arcane shot to do a shadow arrow. So please make a wisdom saving throw, Feng.
Okay. That's a 12.
Okay. So you take 5 radiant damage, 9 psychic damage,
Hmm.
and you are blinded until the start of the archer's next turn.
Okay.
As we'll go with this one. Yeah, as you just, she is just slowly rounding this corridor as Omega is like in between tearing into this firewolf, is extending out their arm and leg to like stretch out and like knock her off balance to prevent her from being able to escape the melee. But she does extend out that bow, and you just start seeing like crackling black energy with it as she's still slowed. As it hits you, and you just feel your brain just start pulsing with pain, and you just can't even see right now from the sheer amount of like aneurysm happening in your head. Well, it's your turn, Thumb.
Let me check something quick. Okay, so I can't do that now. Um, um,
Also, this is an important thing now. You currently have fire resist because of your armor, right?
That's
Because
my what?
Bob's.
I said you currently have fire resist because of your armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to deal with smoke inhalation because 3 buildings are on fire. So you guys gotta deal with smoke inhalation because you're all blinded if you don't have fire resist or
Yeah.
can't breathe.
All right. Well. Y'all got health potions if I go down, right?
I got none.
I got berries.
Alright, I'm just looking at my 18 of 45 health.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, probably. Alright, well, since I can't really do too much here, without seeing anyway, bonus action, have them
Okay, put out
have
that
the crew
fire.
target that fire to put that out.
Okay.
And let's see. I have to be able to see for this spell.
Well, you have the fire resistance, so you should be able to see, right?
No, she's
Since
blinded
smoke-
because of the arrow.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
No, okay, that's something I have to be able to see for. Cool. That's sight. Cool.
You can always attack with disadvantage.
No, I don't think I could, actually.
Okay.
Let's see, you know what? Let's just try and keep things going somewhat smoothly. Although, can I really use my action to put out a fire if I can't see it?
Yeah, you're just telling them, hey, you put out this fire next to me.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
I don't feel confident in hitting people with disadvantage.
Do you want to do top right or bottom left?
Let's do top right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and I guess That's my turn. I don't see much reason for me to try and move around here.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Is this a raised balcony?
No, that's like flooring, like wood planks in front of it.
Ah, okay. Never mind then.
Okay. Nafisa.
Okay. I am in trouble. I am going to whack. Bonus action command Nyx to contribute to the house that Feng said to start putting the fire out on one.
Okay.
So that's the one in the upper right, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I am then going to use my turn whacking it. That is a 21.
It hits.
Alright, then here is the 14 slashing damage plus additional 1 from favored foe
Okay.
plus the 6 cold damage.
Okay.
So that's a 21 total. Alright, and
It's a
then
hefty
second
blow.
hit. Second hit, that is a 19.
It hits.
9 more slashing damage.
Okay. Yeah, you're digging in there. She is still going strong, but she is definitely showing some wear and tear as that oil is gushing all over you from her inner blood from all these carving in with your stone axe as she's trying to squish you.
A question about
Yes.
the giant grappling dealy.
Yes.
Is that because of the size difference?
It's large size or smaller. It's a special attack that this creature
Okay,
has.
so large or smaller.
Yeah.
Alright.
My daddy is bigger than you.
um, we're just gonna go a couple minutes longer trying to finish the round. So the Sun Soul is going to weave around to get up in there with Nafisa and Omega, and is going to try and hurt Omega with the first punch. So shooting a bolt of energy, which will miss. And I have to quickly roll if I get...
Oh, is that for me?
No, that's for Omega. They do get their Stunning Strike back, and they do get their Searing Art Strike back. So next he's going to try and Radiant Punch you, Nafisa, with a 12 and miss.
No.
And he is then going to try one more time to Omega, and is going to hit. And this is going to be an interesting interaction. So he shoots a ray of radiant energy at Omega. Omega then rolls 1d10. There we go.
Nice,
Rolls
nice,
10
nice.
plus 9, or plus a 20 total. So he shoots this bolt of radiant energy, and then they deflect missiles on it, and you just see Omega just absorb the radiant energy that hits them, and just immediately disintegrates all of the energy behind it, as if they just consumed and deconstructed it.
Incredible.
What a reaction. Monk shit, am I right? And so yeah, that's the Sun Soul. The wolf in melee with Omega is going to see if it gets its breath weapon back. It does. And is going to use that to set the topmost house back on fire. Cool. Okay. Aurora. Aurora.
Okay. Yep. No, you can't use that voice right now. That's trauma. Okay. Measure this out just a second. Oh. Okay. Aurora's gonna kind of step up to here. I think was in that little circle that I just drew. Yep. and going to cast Wither and Bloom that hits the 2 bottom Wolfos.
One second.
So
Oh,
con
okay.
saving throw for both of them.
It's what kind of saving
This is
throw?
con save.
Gotcha.
And so this will be it's a pretty mediocre roll. Both fail, so they both take 6 cold damage.
Okay.
But I'm also going to have Aurora use the second half of Wither and Bloom to heal herself. So we're going to roll ourselves a little hit die.
3.
Nice minimum roll. We love to see it. So she has the parry up, so it's 6.
Yeah.
But still.
Yay.
Was hoping for better. Was hoping for better on both of those rolls. And then bonus action, that fire.
Oh, the bottom left.
Yep, bottom left.
Yep. Thank you. Alright, the Wolfo who's slowed is going to see if he gets his breath weapon back, which he does not. And he's going to very slowly bite Omega. And miss. And then he rolls to see if he's no longer slow. And he's still slowed. Soleil.
Uh-huh.
The
Alright.
wolf to your right is very fucked up.
Yo, we're gonna go for him. I'm gonna bonus action Crimson Right, add some cold damage to my claw attacks, and go for a hit on the one to the right. 16.
That hits.
Cool. Oh god, 14.
Okay.
Plus 2 cold damage.
That is enough to drop him.
Yes.
Cool. I turn around, I slash at this one to my left.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That
Dirty
hits.
20.
Let's go.
Cool. Another 10 slashing and 5 cold damage.
Nice. How do you want to kill that little wolfo?
Oh, I dig it up and tearing it in half, but before like the gore and viscera has a chance to hit the ground, it freezes and shatters on impact.
We love
So
to see
sick.
it. The poor little stone doggo. And it's gonna. The final wolfo doesn't get its fire breath. It's gonna try and munch you. It doesn't get pack tactics anymore either, and it rolls a 12.
That'll miss. Womp womp.
Yeah, it's trying to bite into you, but you're in too much of a berserker fury right now, and just knock it aside.
Big old Chad.
Yep. And with that, we will wrap up the round, and we will continue this fight next time.
Fire!
Fire everywhere, and not a
We're
drop to
fighting
drink.
fires.
Alright, everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight for my first stream back from my surgery hiatus. I hope it was fun. I hope my players had fun getting back into the action. And we will be sure to be heading back into this in the coming weeks. So be sure to come on by. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. Give me a sub over on YouTube, where we have every stream and every session of this campaign. And you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. You can also follow me on Blue Sky, where I have D&D and other unhinged thoughts. You should also go check out my wonderful players in their various ways that you can go hit them up. They're all amazing people. They have their own campaigns and their own streams in their own right. And I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people, and I hope you enjoyed spending your night with me nearly as much as I enjoyed spending it with you. And never forget the most important part, which is the world is better having you in it. That'll be it for streams for the week. I have an incredibly hectic week ahead of me, but it should be good. So we'll be back next week. I'm going to throw up a poll this week of potential new games and stuff to stream. So once that's up, be sure to check it out. And yeah, we're gonna go raid. Oh, that's not the right person. Oh, it's they do instead of Meister, they did Meester.
Well, Meester.
There we
I
go.
didn't spell the German right.
Yeah. So let's go right in. They're a very talented artist. They're working on some cool stuff. I don't know else to describe it as a diverse amount of things that she's drawing right now. So let's go send her some love. And have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.